Hello. How are we all doing? So, no, I didn't go to the cinema in the end. I stayed in bed. So, I just wanted to say thank you for getting us to number one on the pre-order charts again for the fourth EP in a row. I know this is like just an extension of first EP, but appreciate that massively. It's really cool. It's been a really cool project that we've worked on. Myself and Charlie did some mad hours on it, so I really hope you all like it. The feedback on Dynamite has been very good so far. Yeah, I've essentially just been told to remind you guys to make sure you pre-save it on Spotify. It was going to be a huge help to the band and its progression if these songs, as well as the original EP, we haven't forgotten about that. I've seen all the stuff about Flashing Lights, thank you. If this EP, the new one, the acoustic one, if that does really well on the streaming front, it will be very good for us. And I think deep down, all of you do want to do what is good for us. So, yeah, make sure you pre-save it. There's links on all of the boys' stories and mine. And thank you for getting it to number one. Appreciate your reaction. I've been doing my best to stay off social media for the past week or so, have a break from everything, but the way the world works is that I need to be active right now to reward the people that are actually doing good things for the band, because that's what's important. So make sure you screenshot once you've pre-saved it and tag all of us in it, the band account included, Blair included, Charlie included, and I'm going to personally go through and like probably not interact, if I'm perfectly honest, but I will like as many of them as I can, because I assume there's going to be a large number of them. Yeah, I thought I'd come on and say that, as opposed to doing a lot of text stories, because I've done that a lot, because I've not really wanted to show my face, if I'm perfectly honest. Yeah. Did you see the article Sonny tweeted? Yes, I did, from Slabmix. That's cool. People are saying that it won't pre-save. I think you need an account. That is my only explanation. Yeah, let's talk, shall we? Pop some questions in. Hello, Olivia. How are you doing, darling? It's nice to meet you at Summer in the City. Yeah, Flashing Lights for Fobs. Yeah, I saw that. That was really cool. Whoever came up with that, I'm not sure on their name. Thank you. But do it with every song. Just because Flashing Lights is like my favourite doesn't mean the other songs are bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just my opinion that matters. Did your mum enjoy her birthday? Yes, she loved it. I went home. I surprised her. I told her I was coming up the day before. Which was really cool, because I've not been home all year. So it was a nice break away from everything, as I'm sure you guys can relate to, if I'm perfectly honest. Am I the only one that can listen to the Dynamite song? No, you're not. It comes free with the pre-order. Hopefully you're going to Winter in the City. Want to see you again. Potentially. I have no idea. I'm just going to be very honest in this one. So ask whatever you like. Please do anything to make you happy. What's made me happy is that the band is doing very well at the minute. I enjoy that a lot. I enjoy that you guys got us to #1, and so many of you are pre-saving the acoustic EP, which is awesome. So thank you so much for everyone that's done that. It's important to notice when people do positive things and the good stuff for the band, and those people don't deserve to be put in the same bracket as people who aren't necessarily as nice. Hello Blair, for those of you who don't know, Blair is my manager. He makes me happy. A lot of things make me happy, don't get me wrong, just because I took a few days off social media to get my head straight. It doesn't mean I'm depressed. I've seen a lot of things about it. There's nothing wrong with being depressed. I'm just personally not depressed. I just wanted a break from social media because, times get a bit rough sometimes. But yeah, I thought I'd do this just to clear a few things up. Say thank you again. Not promoted the EP as much as I'd like. And I have a good amount of passion for this EP. So it means a lot to me personally and to the band and its progression and everyone involved in the EP, that this acoustic EP does as well, if not better, than the main EP, the Dynamite EP. So please make sure you go and pre-save it. It is vital to everything we're doing and everything we work for on a daily basis. The reason we don't see our families, the reason we put up with nasty comments, the reason we don't have a social media that we use for pleasure, we use it for our job and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, we all have social media for guilty pleasure, like going looking on pages and enjoying your guys' edits and stuff, but we don't have social media in the same sense as most people, so we give up a lot to provide the best content we physically can for you guys, and the reward is days like today. The days like this, I wish were more frequent. I wish we were going to #1 on the pre-order charts every day, but it's not feasible, so I'm just happy it did happen today. So thank you for making it go to #1. Make sure you pre-save the EP on Spotify. The way you do that, like I say, I know I keep preaching on about it, but just listen to me, please. Swipe up on my story, Rise, Brooks, Jack's, Sonny's, Blair's. I don't know if Charlie's done one, maybe. The band's one. Swipe up, it will say pre-save on Spotify, pre-order, Apple Music, Deezer. I have no idea what Deezer is. I'm sure it's great. Just get it everywhere you can. Particularly Spotify, it's genuinely so crucial. Like, you guys run some mad campaigns to get the streaming figures up for the EP when that came out, and we were also appreciative of it, and everyone was in such a dope place. Everything was so rosy when the Dynamite EP came out. Went to #1 on the pre-orders, went to #4 in the main charts, but hey, that's life. Streaming figures are mad. Like, Flashing Lights is approaching 750,000. All the rest of the songs, well over 600k. Like, that's incredible. To be part of something with those figures is mad. Blair's going off about my hair. Thank you, I think. Hope you like it. And yeah, I just want to say as well, I have seen a lot of really nice comments over the past week or so, which I'm massively appreciative of. A lot of people assume that I came offline as like a publicity stunt or to prove a point. I think you guys know that we're a lot more honest and not as smart as that. So for those of you who said that I took some time off to gain some attention or for clout, you don't know me at all, because I don't think I've had a day off properly in 6 years. But people don't see that side of things, and that's fine. I'm happy to explain those things. But like I say, I keep reverting back to it. All that time away and all of the sleepless nights and being a bit homesick and the nasty comments, which there are a lot of, are worth it for days like this. For those of you who don't know, I've been a musician since I was born, essentially. Since I was 6, I started learning guitar. So I literally don't care. It worked, you are a clout god, I'm not worthy, I suck. Blair, you are the source of entertainment here. You should be the one live. Yeah. No, I've been doing music for as long as I can remember, so days like this are what mean a lot to me. Like when the music of the band I'm a part of, and proud to be a part of, gets recognised more so than an individual member, and if you guys like their traits or not. Performing over socials, exactly. Stage over socials. Social media is part of a job. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to interact with you guys unless you came to our shows, and we aren't in the fortunate position yet to be able to tour the world, but that's fine, because we're not ruling that out. Ever. We want to do it as soon as possible, but we need to grow in order to do that. And the way we grow, just pre-save, and then we can start coming around the world. You have forgotten me, you have left me here in the cold. I haven't. We haven't seen a great deal of Blair this year. He's currently on holiday, I believe. But we've moved far away, and, you know, we do our thing, and we still stay in touch, for sure. What's your biggest fear? My biggest fear is the day I wake up and I'm not in music. I was born to be a musician in some capacity. Might not necessarily be a boy member, but that's what I am right now, and I love every second of it. So, a few things I want to clear up. No, I'm not depressed. I don't have depression. Please stop worrying about some of the rumours going around, like I'm feeling suicidal, or I want to leave the band, or just assumptions people are making. I feel like, that's not going to happen on my watch. I appreciate that, Blair. Thank you for your consistent and continuous support of myself and the rest of the boys. But yeah, people making assumptions on my welfare and well-being, I think's harsh, because they aren't me. They're not in my head. I do have periods where I am, you know, a bit moody and a bit reserved. I'm not quite as silly as other people, but that's fine. Everyone plays their role. And I can be as well when I'm in the right mind frame. Currently I'm not in that mind frame, but that doesn't mean I'm like this forever. Some rumours are crazy and get blown out of proportion. I only listen to what you're telling us. Thank you, Olivia. I appreciate that. Everyone has the down days. Jennifer, you're so right. And I've had a down week, but in that week I've got to see my mum, which is amazing. First time I got to spend continuous time with her all year. I did some travelling. No, it was cool. I enjoyed that time. I needed that time, because things were getting a bit on top of me from an online perspective. I know that I'm one of the people in the world that does take things to heart. I preach sarcasm. I think self-deprecation is like a really attractive thing. For those of you who don't know, self-deprecation is like someone who has the ability to laugh at themselves. I laugh at myself all the time. I laugh at myself about my weight, about my hair, about my style, about my crooked teeth. Like, no one's perfect, and if they tell you they are, they're probably more insecure than everyone. So I preach sarcasm, but I preach harmless sarcasm. And I also think that a lot of sarcasm has truth wrapped in it. So when I see you guys say horrible things about me or my bandmates or my band, particularly over text, it does get misconstrued, doesn't it? So, and it's also not been like a ridiculously easy year. Like, it's been quite a chilled year. But for those of you who aren't aware, my father passed away in April, and again, the trolls amongst you will say that I'm using that as an excuse, but I didn't have a grieving process because I didn't go home, I didn't have a funeral to attend, I just worked through it, and maybe that caught up with me, and certain comments that I could brush off like a year ago, I probably took to heart. Being perfect is knowing you aren't. I love that, and I'd say I'm neither perfect, and I know I'm not perfect, because the way I view things is it's like a ladder, and if you asked a 5-year-old me, where's the top of your ladder, it would be 4 number 1 albums, living a great life, living like a stress-free life with a lot of great people around me. But that's not the top of the ladder, is it? You have to keep adding new steps to the top of your ladder. And then once you've reached the new top steps, you keep adding more. And it's the people that really are passionate about things and care about them that have an unlimited ladder. And it takes for you to be on the right path to get into the top of your current ladder for you to realise that your ladder actually has no top. That's why people are never satisfied. I'm satisfied with where the band is, but if you'd have showed me where the band is now, 2 years ago, I'd have been ecstatic. That's being a perfectionist, and that's understanding your own goals. That made no sense. I'll save this and you can watch it back. It makes perfect sense. So I personally don't think I'll ever be truly happy based on success or based on a status or a stature. I think the band could be the biggest band of all time. We'd be the best selling band of all time, and I'd be the guy that was like, we need to go and do a show on Mars and be the first one to do that. And once we've done that, like, there's always more to get out of something, and if you settle for where you are, you'll never get past it. So number 1 on the pre-order charts for a 4th EP in a row, it's madness. We're an unsigned act. We don't have help. Like, this is all our own work, so it's really gratifying. Obviously, I sound ungrateful. We do have outside help. We have management. We have producers. We have cameramen. We have Robbie, whatever Robbie is. And we're massively grateful to all those people. But this is our journey. This is something we've done with no label, no financial help. This is our own work, and to kind of bring every single one of you that's watching this, and to the hundreds of thousands of other people across platforms, to bring you all into this journey is incredible, because you guys have made a commitment and you're stuck with us now. So I've said it 1,000 times. I don't need to say it again, but I will, just so people stop worrying. In the previous band I was in, Overload, I was the last to leave that band. I was first in this band. And it would take something really, really bad to make me leave this band. One, because I know the potential this band's got. I know my bandmates. I know what the 5 of us, plus the people around us, are capable of. I know what you guys are capable of. I'd be throwing a lot away, and it would take a lot. It would take a lot more than immature people with small mindsets that essentially, if we're being very honest, do a lot of what they do for their own personal attention or their own personal clout. Like, I'm well aware, don't get me wrong, this isn't arrogant, this is factual, and you can challenge me on this all you like. People know that by hating me online, they get more personal attention, so they do it so that people will jump on that bandwagon. Or they know that I'm one of the people that's more likely to see it and either challenge them on it, which means they get attention from me, or they know they've hurt my feelings, which means they win, which is just a small, petty and immature mindset. I'd love for people not to jump on a bandwagon, but maybe that's just my role. My role is to just be the one that has people say nasty things about them and everyone else jump on it, and then as soon as I address it, everyone changes their mind. I'm not aware that that role's ever existed before, and I don't enjoy it. But I know that every time I breathe, there's a small portion of people that have a problem with it, and then a bigger portion of people that will back the small people who have a problem with it. And I don't know why. I feel like that's just from me being myself, which hurts, because I guess the assumption is that me being myself has formed a group of people that don't necessarily like me. But I understand that you're never going to have everyone like you, but there is a miscellaneous grey area of people that use their supposed sarcastic hatred of me for their own personal gain. And what I'd like to say is that put yourself in their shoes, not for one day, but for 4 years, and tell me you wouldn't have a week off social media. Tell me that wouldn't eventually grate on you, no matter how strong everyone says you are, and no matter how emotionally in touch you are with yourself, and you know what I mean? So, no, this hasn't been for attention. No, I'm not depressed. No, I haven't been sad around the band. I've been my normal self. Maybe potentially a bit more reserved. But the boys haven't seen me in the way you guys have seen me. Because they're not the problem. Focus on the good people around you. And I'm going to make this point now. I'm not thrilled. I'm not bouncing off the walls. I'm not particularly looking forward to coming back to social media, but I'm sure when I do, you know, I'll get over what I'm feeling right now. But there has been some, like, incredibly lovely and supportive people. So, just thank you to all of them. But you just also know that you do not need to worry about me. I'm a big boy. Been through a lot worse than a small amount of hate online. I've had that countless times, but it wasn't a good time for me the past week. I also saw a lot of people say you should expect to be treated a certain way based on your career. And the point I'm going to make on that is that when you grow up and you start singing and start playing guitar and start writing songs and you enjoy it, you don't go, I'm going to put that online and have loads of people hate it and me. You don't think about that side of things. Because then even less people would be trying to be in the music industry, wouldn't they? If you're sad, think about Bim. Bim's cool. We love you and want you to be happy. I'll get there. I'm not depressed, but I'm not bouncing off the walls. I mean, you guys want us to be real people. You want us to be honest with you. You want to know when stuff's good with us and stuff's bad with us. Right now it's bad. Doesn't mean I'm leaving the band. Doesn't mean... I feel a bit like, and again, I don't want to come across pretentious. I'm stating facts. I'm in an advisory role. I'm quite a moralistic person. I like to spread good messages. And I've always preached about speaking about your mental state and letting the right people know. And it would be massively hypocritical of me to encourage that open and honest behaviour without being open and honest myself. So yeah, it's a bullet point. Thank you once again for number 1 on the pre-sale. Thank you so much for everyone who's pre-saved it on Spotify. You have no idea how much that is going to help us. And when the band is successful and when the fandom comes together as one, there is not a better feeling, and there's not a force that can rival it in terms of its reckoning. There isn't. Thank you so much for the campaign. It was unnecessary, but it was very sweet. Flashing lights for fobs. I appreciate that. But I'd love all of the songs to be on 20mm, and then once they're there, I wouldn't dwell and, you know, kind of reflect and be like, that's amazing. I'd be like, I want 50mm. Right. So, just please pre-save the new one. Months ago, we put in so much time on this. We did full-on sleepless nights on end. And it'd be great to see that work kind of in its physical form be appreciated. And I understand there's going to be people that don't like it, and I'm fine with that. I had people saying that they don't like acoustic music, they don't like slow stuff. That's fine. If you're here for the upbeat stuff, cool, we'll see you at tour, we'll see you on our YouTube channel. If you're here for the acoustic stuff, please pre-save it, please promote it to other people you think would like it. If you're here for everything, awesome, amazing. But I understand that some people aren't. Like, whenever I was a fan of someone growing up, I was there for their music. I didn't care who they were dating or what their hair colour was or, you know, their actions online. I was just there for their music. But a lot of people are invested in the band's journey for everything. To know everything about all of us. To know every word of every song, to know every word of every cover. Like, I understand that there's different brackets of supporters, and I love each and every one of you differently. No, I'm sorry. I love each and every one of you the same, even though you are all different. That was a slip of the tongue. I apologise for that. And I genuinely do mean that. So, no, I'm not leaving. I'm going to do a bit more looking after myself. I'm going to start doing things that I know I enjoy a bit more. I feel like all of us constantly in this house, all the time, after such a long time together isn't very healthy. And I'm going to write what I'm feeling again, because I've not written a song in weeks. I'm going to keep learning piano. I'm going to watch football when I want to watch football, but also bear in mind that there's a lot of people that have dedicated so much of their life and time to this band that we can't let down. and it takes me back to the point I made, and I will keep saying this, and I'll take hate for it. I'm unapologetic about this. That I would love each and every one of you to love each and every one of the boys in the band and the band equally. I understand that you guys were upset at that point. But, and I've not wanted to say this, but it's a point a friend of mine made to me. Said, imagine if you were the least favourite in the band and you shared a house with someone that was the most favourite, and you had that unspoken ego about you, like between you, like, well, I've got more followers, I've got more fans, even though we're in the same band, I'm better than you. And I'd hate that, because from my personal perspective, I don't think I've ever been the favourite of this band. I can't remember a time being the least favourite, unless it's like a hate campaign where people are after, you know. But the fact that there is a way of quantifying who's the favourite and least favourite in my eyes is wrong, because I'd love all of us to reap the same benefits of being part of this project. Like, and people were saying we've all got different types, or we just gravitate to different people, and I understand that, because we're not 5 of the same boy. We're 5 completely different individuals. We look different, we speak different, we act different, we deal with things in different ways. So you're naturally going to relate to someone more, or you're going to fancy someone more, whatever it is. Like, I'm not saying everyone love me and fancy me in the same way you would Robbie, Brook, Jack, Sonny. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there's a way of quantifying when someone is a favourite, someone is a least favourite, and I wish there wasn't. The point I was making was never stop loving me as an individual and just love the rest of them. That wasn't what I was saying. I feel like a lot of people thought that I was trying to banish Andy girls. I even hate saying it. But I'm grateful to anyone who supported me personally in anything. But right now my focus is on Roadtrip. I'm part of that project. Like, this band has been my life and will continue to be my life for a long, long, long time. So if you're a fan of anyone in the band, inadvertently, you're a fan of myself, and I'm grateful for that. But what I'd hate to see is people only know Jack and be a fan of Jack and not care that he's in Roadtrip, because the only reason you're aware of Jack is because of his presence in Roadtrip. So the point I was making was, I don't necessarily endorse lanes, and I try not to treat people based on whose lane they're in, because I wish that there was a better way, but there isn't. And that was the point I was making, and that's how this all kind of came about, which is pathetic and so dumb, but it did. People that, you know, love the band, amazing, thank you so much. For those of you who like one member of the band and don't really care about the rest of the band, I mean, great for that person, but if there's people out there that only like me and don't care about Roadtrip, I'd love them to be a Roadtrip fan, because that is my life. Like, and that's the point I've been trying to put out, and it's why I've received a world of hate, for trying to spread love from just me to 4 other people and an entity. Which is why I've taken a week off, because I've found it so difficult to comprehend why people wouldn't think that was a good thing. it's just such a weird concept. There's 2,200 people now whose individual device this is on. I'm just sat in my room with a screen in front of me, and there's 2,200 people watching. That's mental. I don't know. If you haven't already, please pre-save the EP. If you haven't already, go and watch our new cover. It's on our YouTube channel, Roadtrip TV. If you found my profile, welcome. My name's Andy. I'd love for you to go and follow my bandmates at Rybomon, at Brooklyn White Music, at I Am Jack Duff, at Sonny D Robertson, at roadtrip TV. I'd love for you to spread your love equally amongst all 6. I know it's difficult, and I know that's a lot of work and time and commitment, but it would make me personally so happy to see you love all of us, and not just me. And for someone that's so self-proclaimed intelligent, I can't understand why people would think that's a bad thing of me to want. Right now, I'm in a bit more of a sensitive place than normal. I'm going to still refrain from social media, but I understand that I have a job to provide content. I won't respond very well to sarcasm at all. I'm going to take things to heart. And I am, as horrible and as unfortunate as it is, just going to block anything I don't like. I don't want to be scared to go on my phone. I don't want to wake up, go on Twitter and see horrible things about me. I don't want to go into DMs and see sarcastic, negative things said about me anymore. I'm tired of it. It's draining. So I'm gonna get rid of that off my personal timeline. Because that's not spreading love. And I've done it to a couple of accounts already, and I'm so sorry to those people if I've misinterpreted your message. But maybe your message should have been more thought about before you publicised it, before you used your words to gain personal attention whilst putting another human being down. I personally, and I know the band does as well, try and be as inclusive and involve every sort of person imaginable, regardless of what gender they identify as, regardless of their sexual preference, regardless of their race, regardless of their background, regardless of their financial status, regardless of literally anything, their age, their hair colour, their eye colour, what music they like. Like, none of that matters. Because we are literally all put on this big sphere, or this plate, if you're a nutter, just to, like, enjoy the small amount of life we've got. And go and do things that you love doing. And what I love doing is making music, and you guys aid that process. Every day you help support the band. So, I'm not in a place right now where I can see negative things said about me. I just can't do it. I'll just neglect social media, and it's not fair on the ones that aren't negative. Well, there's so many amazing people in this fandom. Like, legit, I'm astounded by some of the support messages, some of the talent, some of the dedication. Like, there's people in this fandom that are infinitely more talented than every member of this band. Realise that potential. Never stop doing what you love doing. I watch reaction channels for feedback on our work as an extension of our individual work. Like, people putting things to the video, people putting things to their appearance, people putting things to the music. I want to see physical reactions to it, but they're also good entertainers, and they should keep doing that if they love doing it. Like, if you make a reaction channel for attention, you've made it for the wrong reason. I didn't be in a boy band to have a load of you guys tell me how fit I am. It doesn't, if I'm perfectly honest, it doesn't mean anything to me. I got in a boy band to get in the music industry and to get my music out into the world and spread a message and have people enjoy it or people hate it. Like, love and hate our music. Don't love and hate the people in the band. Please. Anyway. Said all I needed to say. Please pre-save the acoustic EP. Genuinely would mean the absolute world. I'll be back to normal on socials soon. Just give me time. I know a lot of you guys are patient and understanding, and I love that. For those of you who think I'm doing this for attention, there's an unfollow button, there's a mute button, there's a block button. Just get me out of your life. I'd rather I not be in your life than you have a negative opinion of me. Even if you want to support Road Trip without particularly liking me, I'd much prefer that than you give me your time in a negative way. Mr. Nick Crompton, I love you, bro. Anyway, thank you for listening. Please pre-save the EP. Thank you so much for all the supportive messages, for everyone who's been understanding. I'll be back, and when I'm back, it might not necessarily be 100% my best, but I am going to portray that front on social media for the ones that don't necessarily know the ins and outs of my life. I'm going to put pictures of me smiling, or pictures of me trying to, look good, or sound good. Because although I don't care, I know a lot of people do. I'm pandering to the people that only care about that stuff. All of our content has to be inclusive of all of our fans' motives for liking the band, if that makes sense. Stay amazing, all of you. Stay positive. Go and watch the new cover. It's of Ariana's Girlfriend. It's really cool. Much love to Alex and Connor for the hard work on that. Pre-save the EP. I literally care so much about the music, it is frightening. So, thank you for listening. I've been Andy, Fobs, AF, etc. from the boy band Road Trip. Our new EP came out today. You can go and pre-save it. It's on at Fobs, at Ribomon, at I am Jack Duff, at Sonny D Robertson, at Brooklyn Wyatt Music, at Roadtrip TV, at Blair's World. It's on all of those stories. Pick one of them. Follow all of them. Spread the love, please. I don't like having more and less followers than my bandmates. Straight up. That's honesty. Swipe up. Pre-save it. And let's just make some history. Sorry if you get blocked. Maybe that could be a trigger to change a personality trait in yourself that you didn't realise wasn't very positive. I've experienced so much negativity in my life over the past few years, but also a hell of a lot of positivity, that I now only have time for the positive stuff. I only have time for people that I respect, people that interest me or make me a better person. So, that would be my advice. Thank you for all of your love. I'll go through and like a load of screenshots of it being pre-saved. Stay amazing. Stay positive. Thank you for listening. I know this has been long, but it's been long overdue. Right. Good night, everyone. Peace, love, and positivity. I'll see you when I see you. And who knows? That could be on the flip side.